Okay, in this video we're going to classify data by its level of measurement. So in addition to our qualitative and quantitative methods, as well as the quantitative variables discrete and continuous, we have four different levels of measurement of data. They are the nominal, the ordinal, the interval, and the ratio, NOIR, like film noir. And we're going to go over each of the levels in this video. So we're going to start with our lowest level of measurement called the nominal level, and that involves only categorical or qualitative data. So we call it nominal level because we can't arrange it in any meaningful order. Nominal level is the only level of measurement that we cannot arrange in a meaningful order. Even if we arrange in an alphabetical order or from least to greatest, again involving qualitative data, it's not going to give us any meaningful order. Alphabetical order might help us find a value quicker in a data set, but it doesn't really help us with any meaningful order. So that's the lowest level. It's called the nominal level. Next up, we have the ordinal level of measurement, and that can be arranged in a meaningful order. However, the differences between data values either cannot be found or are meaningless. So while nominal, we can't really put them in any meaningful order, with ordinal and everything else above that, we can. So ordinal, we can put them in order, hence the name, but differences in data values are meaningless or can't be found. One step above the ordinal level is the interval level, and that is data in which we can arrange it in a meaningful order. And now the differences between data values are meaningful, but ratios between values are meaningless. So while we can subtract and get something meaningful, we can subtract two data values and get something meaningful. We cannot get something meaningful if we divide. So we put them in order. Differences are meaningful, but ratios between them are meaningless for interval level of measurement. And another thing I want to note here is that with the interval level of measurement, we don't have a natural zero starting point. We may have zero as one of our values that we can have. However, that zero will not be a natural starting point, and we can have negative values exist below it at the interval level of measurement. So there's no natural zero starting point, and we for interval level of measurement, and we can have data values that are negative as such. Finally, our highest level of measurement is called the ratio level, and that involves data that can be arranged in a meaningful order. The differences in ratios are meaningful, and we do have a natural zero starting point. So we're going to take a look at some examples and classify them based on their level of measurement. So here we go. Example 3, classify each by level of measurement. So we're going to have the top 10 cities to live in. So what do you think? Is it nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Well, we are putting them in order. There are top 10. It's a top 10 list. However, as far as we know, there's really no way of knowing the differences, what the actual difference in quality is between the top city and the second place city. So this is an ordinal level because the differences are either meaningless or can't be found. All right, part B, the amount of coffee in a cup. So we could have different days and different amounts of coffee in the cup. So what do you think? Nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Well, we can put them in order, like the coffee or the cup that has the most amount of coffee compared to the cup that has the least. So we can at least put them in order. The differences are meaningful. We could have one cup of coffee that has more in it than another, so we get more coffee, which is definitely meaningful, especially early in the morning. Now, in terms of interval versus ratio, do we have a natural starting value of 0 for the amount of coffee in a cup? Yes, we do. It's when a cup of coffee has no coffee in it at all. So this is actually at the ratio level. So anything we typically measure with things like volume of the volume of coffee in a cup, or area or pressure or things like that, where there is a natural zero starting point. We can't have a negative amount of coffee in a cup. We can't have a negative amount of tire pressure in our tire, or air pressure in our tires. So the amount of coffee in a cup is at the highest level, the ratio level. All right, part C, room temperature in degrees Celsius. So let's see, we know we can put the temperature in order, so it's at least at the ordinal level. Differences in room temperature, yeah, quite a bit. If you've ever lived with somebody who has a particular taste for what the room temperature should be, you know that differences are meaningful. Uh, Now, as far as interval versus ratio, do we have a natural zero starting point for Celsius? No, we actually have negative degrees Celsius. They do exist. So this is actually at the interval level of measurement. Even though 0 degrees is the temperature at which water freezes, we do have negative Celsius values as well. So things like Kelvin, the Kelvin scale, which has absolute 0, that would be a ratio, but with things like Celsius and Fahrenheit, there is no natural 0 starting point. Part D, your blood type. Well, your blood type is a qualitative variable, so it's nominal. So we can classify, the blood type, but if we try to put them in order, even alphabetical order, it's not like we're going to get anything, A, B, B, and then O, and then the rhesus factor as well. Is not really going to do too much to help us with any meaningful order. So blood type is at the nominal level of measurement. All right, that about does it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.